Chief Agee's always wanted to be a firefighter. I'm glad we were finally able to capture footage of his first time on the fire truck.
I went on active duty in the Navy. So I got to see the United States, all of it, from the East Coast to the West Coast, from Canada to Mexico. And so I've been able and been very fortunate to do that. So I got qualified as an assistant firefighter in the Navy back in the 60s. So when I came out of the Navy, I went to college. I went to Winthrop College on the GI Bill. And then I did my graduate work up in Richmond, Virginia at the Medical University. I came back to South Carolina and I ended up moving to Richburg back to Richburg in 1979. You had to do something for the community. This place was a very small place. The town is still about the same size as it was then, but you had to do something to give back to the community. In 2005, I came to work for the fire department as a full-time chief. Fire department goes back to 1968, and I was in service back in those days, so I wasn't here when all that occurred. Moved back here in '79 and joined the fire department. So in the 20 years prior to me becoming the chief, I was working a job down in Columbia in different places and hospitals, and volunteered my time on the weekends and at night when I was in Richburg.
Rough as a corn cob.
He's retiring in December. What does that mean to you and to the Department of Richburg and the crews that stay here every day?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big loss. I grew up knowing him as Boot, and that's what only close people get to call him. We transitioned later to John when we started working together, but I think I'm going to miss the conversations about the cars and what movies he watched, because every night we run a call every night. We would be on the side of the road or loading a patient in the ambulance, and we get done and he talks about the movie he watched that night, and it was a John Wayne movie.
Old as a witch's broomstick and a brass brazier.
Meeting other people and trying to find common interest in those people, and even though they might not be from the same area, you can always find something that kind of bonds you together. And we're both very big into trying to find that connection with other people.
He's retiring? Did you know that? Well, it's a shock. It's something that anytime you have someone that has been around for as long as John has retire, it's something that it's hard for. Certainly, I can imagine it's hard for them, but it's hard for us. We've certainly grown as a department. He's an excellent leader. He certainly has a tremendous background in management, both in the military and the private sector. He understands politics like no one else understands politics. And he's a tremendous person to work for. You always learn something, whether it be about yourself or about your organization or about the history of this town or this department. And it's really been a pleasure to serve under him. Probably my favorite part is I kept a running log of colloquialisms. I call them John Ageeisms.
Sometimes dealing with people in this department, it's like dealing with a goat rope.
One of my favorite is if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his butt. And he didn't use the term butt, so you can use your imagination. He had a lot of little sayings like that I used to record in my phone. And I probably got hundreds of them that will be published one day in a book. But he had a lot of them that was just really neat sayings. Fuck, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to hold you to restoring some of those cars, especially some of my favorites that are hidden out there behind your house. I know I'm looking forward to that part. They've been put aside for years. He's selflessly put the town first, put the fire department first, and put his hobbies to the back of the list. So good luck with that. I'm looking forward to going for a ride one day in some of them, and best of luck with it.
John, thanks for everything. You were the first person I met when I started here, and I will never forget your kindness. And thank you for your patience with my Yankee ways. We will miss you.
It's going to be a great loss for the Richburg community to see Chief Agee retire and all of his knowledge and experience and dedication that he gave Richburg community and Richburg Fire Department, and including Chester County Fire Service. It's going to be a great loss, but knowing that he's right here in Richburg and you will be able to get some of his expertise if you just pick up your phone, call him, or he'll still be down here when he can, to just be around to assist with this department as it continue to grow. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to work with him, and he's been great for this department.
I'll tell you about John Agee a little bit. Boo was when you knew him back then. He was born right across the street from me, and so we grew up together. At one time, we formed a drag race team between Ted Rattery and John Agee and myself. We bought an old Ford Anglia, which is Chester to get it, and we were towing it home, and all we had was a chain with a pipe between the two vehicles. We were in a pickup truck, and we put John in the car driving it with no brakes, and he still complains about the way we carried him down Hickling Hill, which is on the old Richburg Road, which is a pretty steep drop-off. But the first night he dated his wife, he borrowed my car. I had a fairly new car, and he borrowed it, and I always said the car impressed him more than John did, but they've been together 50 years, so maybe that wasn't the case. Just like me, it's going to be hard for him to turn it loose, but it comes a time when it's that time. So good luck, John.
Well, with my time at this station, I can clearly say that it went over about as well as a hot fart in church.
The time I actually officially met John was at a brush fire down there off of Heath Church Road, back where Zach lives now, down on the Stroud property. He pulled up in the old 821, the old deuce and a half, and they put me in the truck with him to go back look at the backside of where it was burning. We went down through there and went through a creek and went through it fine the first time. Went down there and checked it, the fire hadn't come across. We got it coming back through the creek. He looked, we hit something, we don't know what. He looked at me, looked over at me, he said, I don't know what we hit, but she didn't like it and we ain't stopping. We come back out that creek bottom, that truck was raising all kind of sand. We got out, we done knocked the tandems loose on that truck. The wheels had separated on one side and was touching on the other. It busted the fenders off the tank and all. It was just, I think that was a pretty cool experience.
Congratulations, John, on your retirement. Well earned and well deserved. For me, I just want to say thank you. Over the years, you've been, for me, a shining example of what one person can do for their community. You've taken this fire department leaps and bounds beyond what, I'll be honest, I could have ever possibly thought it could be. It's become the example what other fire departments strive to become, and that is because of you. You've been the driving force behind this growth, and it has been impressive. And by doing so, you've helped this community more than you probably even realize. Now it is time for you to take a break. You and Connie head down to Jekyll Island, put your toes in the sand, and just relax. You can look back here with a sense of pride and accomplishment and know that those who are still here will continue your vision, and rest assured, every time I see you, I'll hug your neck. Thank you again for everything that you've done. Well deserved. Have a good rest.
And what's good about John is that over the last years that I've been part of the station, I've seen him do what's needed to be done to prepare the station, not only for today, not only for tomorrow, but for the next 5-10 years, and even for when he may not be with the station any longer. I know he's quote unquote retiring, but let's all be honest, he's gonna be here. And with that being said, and Thanksgiving right here, I guess for the sake of the argument, we could say that, John, we are very thankful for you and your service. So thank you. John has been a great chief. We've been blessed to have him. He can be rough, but he gets the job done, no matter what it is. And most of those jobs around the station and with the fire department he picks are the hard jobs. If it's being a handbrake for a John Deere tractor truck, or if it's cooking boiled peanuts when it's freezing cold outside, and I mean cold, he always does it without a single complaint, and it speaks volumes for him and his volunteerism that he's done for this county for a very, very long time. And in fact, this station, we can say, makes him happy. Everything he does around here, he does it with a smile. And when I mean happy, I mean happy.
Me and this station are as tight as dicks on a dog. And John's gonna be madder than a hen when he sees this video.
I just want to wish John a happy retirement after a lot of years at Richburg Fire Department. And he treated me well from the day I got here. Being from up north, that kind of meant a lot, and made it real easy for me to fit in. And there's nobody else I'd rather get ran over by a John Deere with. So
I'm not gonna just walk away from the community, but I like to work on old cars. I have a couple of shops where I keep my old stuff, and I'm gonna go do that. And my wife's gonna have to put up with me being around a little bit more because of all the people that have sacrificed because of it. It's been horrible.
As we all know, Chief, you're not going far. We'll see you in the morning, Chief. We'll see you in the morning.